clothes upstyling project. One of you will recognize this. This is from a bag that you gave me, and we bought these together actually. My own one is worn out, I think. And I commandeered this then when I got the black bag that went around, and I've been using it ever since, and it's kind of getting worn and worn and worn, and now it's my painting jumper. It has a hole in it. I love the color. So what I'm going to do is recycle it, upcycle it. So I'm going to turn it inside out and I'm going to felt on it. I'll show you. I'm going to turn it inside out, take off the tags, etc, etc, etc. So that is this week's project. I'll show you now. Now here you go. I'm going to turn this jumper inside out. It has an effect already like it's turned inside out, but it's not, it wasn't me. So the tags are on it still. I'm going to just roughly take the tags off for now. I'll do them neater later. I'll turn it inside out. I want to do something on the neckline as well. I never really liked the neckline on this one, or the one that I bought for myself, but I was managing. And when there's no one watching, it doesn't really matter. And even if there is someone watching, it still doesn't matter. But as I said, I want to make this into something fresher. Now you can see immediately the inside is fresher looking. It's different. It's got the seams and everything, but I like that. I've embraced it, put it like that. It really, really doesn't matter. We just carry on. Now that was the back bit because that's where the tag is. I'll take those off as well with, where are we? With a little, you know, with the, take out the little stitches nice and neatly. And this is the front. Now, this is going to be seasonal, so this is my plan. I will cut out the neck somehow. Perhaps not the back, as we said before, for the autumn. I want to keep the back in for a nice coziness, and I want this to be my painting jumper. So I might just put a bit of a V-neck in it. But because this is not felted, this is an acrylic, it's an old acrylic jumper, because it's not felted, I will have to stitch along that. So I'll mark it out and then I'll stitch along it in a back stitch, nice tight back stitch, and I'll come back down around it again to secure it in place. But this is my plan. I just want to make it into a Halloween kind of style. So with that in mind, this is down the bottom. Hold on now. That's the way it hangs. I know it hangs a little bit crooked, but I don't care. And I would like to place a star or two around here. And my favourite part, I drew out a little cat from, we have two black cats here, and this is probably not one of the black cats, but I've chosen a photograph and then drew it a few times, picked out the best one and enlarged it, or just drew it bigger on a piece of greaseproof, but it doesn't actually matter what you draw it on, a piece of paper. And then I traced it on another piece of paper, happened to be for a card that I was making. So it doesn't have to be a colourful piece. So I traced it onto there. And now I've got myself a stencil of a cat. So the idea is place a little cat down here. I'm going to put it above the border, just a little bit like he's sitting on the border, or she is. And then I'm going to place a couple of little stars. And to do this, I am going to place, now I'm going to pin that there. 1 second. I found the pins. I'm going to pin it in place. So I have the sponge under there, or the brush. I'm not even going to keep it it's tricky because, oops, there, just, I want to keep it in place because what I want to do is use the outline of the cat to get the outline down, and then I can take away this piece of paper, this piece of card. I'm probably destroying a perfectly nice piece of card, but then again I'm using it for a perfectly nice piece of artwork, so let's just say it's okay. I think I have to take the sponge out for this for the moment, just for a minute. Now what helps with this is if you put a piece of card in, because then you're not going to pin it to something in the background, the other side namely. So there you go. And on you go. So what I think I might do is try and do it without the sponge because it's not big enough for my design. Just leave that there for the moment. I just need it basically in there. Then remember this, if you get a single needle, it's really handy. And I have some black wool. I'm going to do it black because it's Halloween. We have a few black cats here, and I know someone else who's got 2 black kittens recently. So that's really sweet. And my sister just posted something about a black cat on, little black cat, little boy, this morning. So it's very, very sweet at the moment. I know their story wasn't always happy in relation to Halloween, but it wasn't their fault. It was humans. But nowadays people are more sensible about things. So I'm just going to use it, see, as the outline. And your image does not have to be exactly the same as this. So go around, just go around following the outline like that all the way. And then you can fill in the center. Now this is quick enough, you'll see, to get the general idea. This happens to be merino wool. It was the quickest thing I could find. Like I say, I don't have any minions to run around for me. Like, that's a bad thing. I don't think I'd want people running around after me. But you know, sometimes it's like, oh, where's that? Up and down the stairs, in and out of bags, the usual. Now, so follow along just like that. I'm going to pause here and you can just carry on for a second. You see, I've gone all the way around. Now you'll probably have to reinforce the edges. Don't get rid of your stencil until you're happy that you have the sides. You can always build it up a little bit later, but it's just so that you have the general feel. I'll show you. I'll show me what we've got. Let me see. Yeah, that's cute, isn't it? I think we can work with that. I'm going to take it off because it's better. It's clearer. I'm a little bit worried about the corners, but I'm not going to worry too much. I will, I won't. I will worry, I won't worry. I will worry, I won't worry. Right. So now out comes the 3. The pen with the 3 needles in it. It's 3 times as fast. And if you go quicker, I don't know what the maths is there, but it's very fast. It's super fast. So you'll get your cat in. Just have little cheeks there. They're not huge, little black cats. They're quite beautiful. They're like China cats. And fill in your black all the way around. Whoops. Just layer it up and layer it up and layer it up until you're happy that you have a good layer and that it's attached nicely to your jumper. Now, basically you're felting it to the jumper, but you're also felting it to itself. So you have to do it in lots of little layers. Build it up, and there's a lot of stabbing involved. So don't get the picture that it's just done by a couple of, it's not glue. You have to get the fibres intertwined. Now this little cat is sitting on a mat, as you can see. This is straight across here. So this will be just your layer, your basic layer. The cat is coming down the front and the mat is kind of showing behind, if you can see. So the little cat will be here, and then you'll have this little bit sticking out of the sides. So I'm going to do maybe a little bit of white now, just to delineate it for us so that we know where we're going. So I'm just going to put this little marker here, and we'll know that that is the edge of our mat, more or less, and the other side as well. Now you don't have to put a mat on. I just happen to have one on here, so it'll be a funny shaped cat. So you can just have the cat as is and put it straight. I could have done that, but sure, nothing's ever easy with me. I'll always complicate it one way or the other. My effort in life is to try and uncomplicate things, but it doesn't really work. Now, and what is happening is that the tail is coming around there, but I think I'll take some artistic license. Whoops. Now you'll get the gist, alrighty. Get that in there. So you keep going with your cat, keep building up, and at some point you're going to have to decide where to put the eyes. Now I will do the eyes in a kind of an orange. An orangey yellow. I think I have some here from earlier. Or green. We'll do some green. We'll do green. Green eyes. My cat's eyes are not totally green. They're a bit green. They change colour in the light like our own. So just to show where they are, I have this piece of card. This is the drawing from earlier. You see? Kind of like that. So what I'll do is, it's just like we did with the mouse. It's just to give us an idea. Now don't forget, it's not round. Of course, these won't go in right just yet, but I just want to give myself the feeling and to show you what to do and how simple it is. That's one, and then we'll do the other one. There. And when the eyes go in, immediately it starts coming to life. It's really fabulous. And really there's nothing to that, because if I can do it, you can do it. Now we'll build up with more green later, but I just wanted to get those in just to show you where they're going. We can put a little shine on them later. I must put a shine on my little mousie's eyes. That is really, I always leave that to the very end because it just gives that little sign of life, I suppose what it is. Now we'll get the cat's eyes in the right shape later, but that's just the general gist. And now the next thing I'll do is, whoops, that doesn't go in there, the stars. So I'm going to take out this and the sponge. It's a great thing, or the bristle brush. It's a great thing, but now look, it's coming together. So what I will do is, not while I have you on the camera here, but I will put a little twisty tail in, you know, because I won't have it coming around the front where she actually has it wrapped around. I'm going to do it up the side because it's just so dramatic, that little tail that comes up. And besides that, then what I'm going to do is, now this is what you do, you just get your cookie cutters. You can cut it out of card either if you want, but an old, what have I got, clay in here. I was using clay before this. So a cookie cutters will do fine. I just want to put a big star. I like stars. I could just do one and then that would be nice and simple, wouldn't it? And I just wanted to do a few. So I could do a few. I'll do one first anyway and show you how it goes. What I'll do is I'll show you. Be careful with your needle when you're using a hard cutters like this. I'm just going to put one up here because it's kind of, I don't, feels right. It feels right. That's why. So I'll slide that to about there. I'm wondering, should I be doing a moon? I'm doing stars. Mayo Dark Skies are celebrating soon. I think it's coming up in November. So this is very timely for them as well. For them and for us as youths, for everybody. Will I do snowy white? That's kind of filling from a cushion actually. That's what that is. No, I think I'll use wool. This is actual sheep's wool from the local sheep. So I think that's kind of, and it's a lovely kind of off-white colour. So similarly, in you go. Now you can do this a little bit quicker, but you must be careful. I'm a devil for losing things. Get into the corners to begin with, to show yourself where the stars begin and end. And try not to bash your needle off the side of it because it'll break the needle. So you don't have to go crazy fast. You can always build up speed later. So you get your little shape in like that. You don't need copious quantities, just enough to make the shape and kind of cover the underside. There are no rules. There really are no rules. You don't even have to cover the shape. You can make it a kind of a, you know, a vague sort of semi-printed image. You know, you can do what you like. Anything you want, you can do. That's the whole thing. That's the hard part because you have to narrow it down to what you actually are going to do. So There you go. That's the basic down. Now we can get that back on again to shape it. See, where's the needle? Where's the needle? Oh goodness, what am I like? Where is it? Okay, pause. I'm going to do it in the center quite a bit. Now this will take quite a while, so that's that. I'm not going to stay here and do it with you till the end. I will show you the result, but I think I'm not going to be able to help myself. Now you can keep bringing this in to sort of, if you keep your shape on it, it's probably going to be the whole time. You'll probably get a firmer star, but you don't have to. I suggest when you're doing this fast stuff that you do, because you can so easily break your needle. And or at least hold it like that when you're trying to get the shape. Keeping the shape is a tricky bit with anything that has really geometrical sides. There's always a tricky bit in everything, isn't there? Anyhow, that wasn't too tricky. So I will build that up for next week and I'll show you the finished product. And I'm hoping I'll have my other one finished and I'll be able to wear it. So I hope you like that little project. Look at the state of the place. And happy Halloweening.